Welcome to my top 10 game-changing tips in Excel. If you have to insert multiple rows, try not to do this. Right-click, insert, right-click, insert. This is too much work, tedious, and laborious. Let me show you a more productive way to do it. First, select the row where you want to insert, say this one here, and then you hold Shift, and then place your mouse cursor over this black box here, which is also known as a fill handler. And your icon should look like that. Two parallel lines with arrow pointing in the opposite direction. Again, hold Shift, left click, and then drag however many rows that you want to insert. Let me show how you can change your heading from this format to this format. So the first thing that I have to do is to highlight all the headers that you want to tilt, like that. And once you're done, make sure you're in Home. Under Alignment, you go to this one here called Orientation. If you do a pull down here, there's a couple of options you have. I'm gonna go with Angle Counterclockwise, like that. And after that, I'm gonna put a border around all my header by clicking like that. And just to make it nicer and neater, I'm gonna squish the column like that. When you select an Excel cell like this, on the bottom right hand corner, there's a black square that appears. This is called fill handle. There's 4 basic things a fill handle can do. The very first one would be to duplicate data. Simply click and drag. You can duplicate strings. You can duplicate numbers as well. Another way to duplicate would be to double click on it, and it duplicates every row until the very last row. It can also do duplication for formulas as well. Double click and it duplicates. The second thing it does is delete rows. So you select the table that you want to delete, click and drag, and it deletes rows of data. The third thing it can do, it creates sequence. Let's say this number here 1, 2, the next number will be 3 and 4 and 5 obviously. So you highlight those numbers and you drag and create a sequence of numbers. Not only sequence, let's say for example if you have a 2 times table, you highlight like that and you drag, it is still considered as a sequence, and it does a sequence of jumping numbers here. It also works with numbers that are real, like for example 1.2, 1.8, and then it does the calculation by itself for real numbers. It works for month as well. It works for date, day of the week, which is shortened, or long version of day of the week. The fourth thing that the fill handle can do is flash fill. Flash fill is basically a pattern extractor. What I mean by that is this. Let's say for example, if you type the first name like that, select that first one and you drag your fill handle, and on this icon here, you click on it and you say flash fill. What it does is that it recognizes that it's only doing the first name and it fills the rest of the row accordingly. You can also add special characters like comma. Let's say for example ABC, comma space 2, 4, 6. The difference is that between this and this is that I've got comma and space here. Again, same thing. Click on your fill handle and drag, and on this pop-up window you click on flash fill, and you'll copy the same pattern as well. If you select a cell in Excel like this, on the bottom right hand corner of the selected cell, there's this black square box. This is called fill handle. What fill handle does in Excel, it allows you to duplicate data, delete data, and for this instance, it's supposed to create a sequence of dates. If you click and drag, you can see that that sequence of date function or the fill handle is not really working. Let's try day of the week. As you can see, it is not really working. So there's a quick fix for this. The way to do would be to go to File, Options. You'll be selecting the Advanced on the left menu here, and make sure you put a check next to Enable Fill Handle and Cell Drag and Drop. After that, click OK, And if you go back to your Excel spreadsheet and select the date again, and if you put your cursor over the fill handle now, you can see that your mouse icon turns into a black plus, which indicates that now your fill handle is active and working. Now if you click and drag your date, you can see that you'll create a sequence of date. And likewise, day of the week, put your cursor on your fill handle, it will turn black, click and drag, and you'll create a sequence of day of the week. If you have to count the number of times a hashtag appears on a particular row, this is the formula you have to use. And of course, if you're not looking for a hashtag, maybe if you're looking for alphabet, maybe H or W, you have to just replace the hashtag with the character that you want. Now for me, I'm just counting number of hashtag. I'm going to hit enter here. And you can see in this particular row, the hashtag appeared twice. Now to apply to every row, hold the fill handle and go all the way down and apply it to all the rows. And there you have it. If you need to highlight a row, you can either click this gray number here like this, or you can use the hotkey. Let's say, for example, if you want to highlight row 20, you place your cursor in any of these row 20 cell here and press shift space, and you'll highlight all the rows in row 20. Likewise, again, one more time, let's say you want to highlight row 8, put your cursor in any of the cell in row 8 and press shift space, and it'll highlight row 8 for you. Likewise, you can also highlight the column by either clicking the gray letters here like this vertically. Alternatively, let's say if you want to highlight column G, put your cursor in any of this cell in column G and press Ctrl space, and it will highlight the column for you. Again, let's say if you want to highlight column R, put your cursor in any of this cell in R and press Ctrl space, and it will highlight it for you. If you want to create this row highlighting feature on your Excel spreadsheet, follow this simple step. First, press Ctrl A to highlight all the table. After that, make sure you're on Home tabs, click on Conditional Formatting, New Rule. In here, you'll be selecting this rule here called Use a Formula to determine which cell to format. And on this formula, enter the following formula. After that, click on Format and make sure you're on the Fill tab and select whatever color that you want to highlight the row. I'm going to highlight with yellow and click on OK. And on this section here, click on OK one more time. Next, I'm going to right click on the sheet name and click on View Code. This will open a VBA editor. In here, on the pull down menu, select Worksheet, and in here, type the following command, target.calculate. And let's close our VBA editor. Now, if you select any cell on your Excel spreadsheet, it will highlight. You can even use the cursor key to move up and down, and the highlight moves along with it. One of the most common way of applying filter will be to go to Data and Filter. A pull down icon will appear, click on it, and then you select the item that you want to apply the filter to. Like for example, I'm going to say 20th century, Disney and Independent, and click OK. Now you can see that the filtering has been applied. You can also apply to multiple columns the same way. The disadvantage of this is that you can see you have to open multiple pop-up to do filtering. There's no one single point to do filtering. Let me show you another way to do filtering which is more productive. I'm going to remove the filtering. First, put your cursor anywhere on your dataset table here and press Ctrl A to select the whole dataset. Next, you're going to press Ctrl T to make this into a table. Make sure you have a check mark next to my table has header because I do have a header on top here, and click OK. Now the table looks like that. You're going to go to Insert. Under the ribbon group called Filters, you're going to click on Slicer. In here, I'm going to select two headers, Lead Studio, and then the year. This will give me two pop-up windows. If you have multiple headers that you want to select, you can do the same way. And in here, when you start clicking, let's say I click Disney, you can see it's only filtering and showing me Disney. And Lionsgate, Fox, 20th century. You can also apply the years here if you need it to be. Let me put back to Disney here. And let's say if you only want to see 2008, you can do the same way. I'm going to remove the filtering here. You can also do filter based on multiple items. You just have to hold the control key, but the control key deselects the item. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if you hold the control key and start clicking the items in Lead Studio, you can see all these items are being removed. To apply the filter, release your control key like that, and you can see that the filter has been applied. I'm going to go ahead and apply some more filter by removing Sony and Summit, and you can see Sony and Summit has been removed. And you can do the same thing on the year too. Press control key and start deselecting the item that you do not want to see, and you release your control key like this, and you can see the filter is being applied. If you want to clear formatting on your dataset table here, this is what you do. Select any cell on your dataset table here and press Ctrl A to highlight the whole table itself. Next, you need to be in Home tabs. Under the editing ribbon, there's this clear here. You do click on it to pull down the menu here, and then from here you're going to click on clear format. What this does is that it clears all the format. That includes italic, bolding, underline, and even the font type, but it does not clear comments. As you can see, the comments are still there. To clear the comment, again go to your clear, and then there's this selection for clear comments, and if you click on it, all the comments are gone. There's a few other clearing I want to show you. Let me undo everything again. Select any cell in your table, press Ctrl A to highlight the whole table. Let's go to clear again. The first one I want to show you is clear all. Clear all completely removes your data, formatting, and everything else. Let me undo this again. Press Ctrl A, select the table, clear. Next one I'll show you is called clear content. Clear content only removes the data, not the formatting itself. You might need it for some other things, but I'm not too sure how you use it. But if you do, please leave a comment in your description below. Let me undo this again. The next thing I want to show you is how you can clear the hyperlinks. As you can see, this is an email address. If you put the URL, it will be similar in nature. It will have underline and blue. And if you right click a cell, you can see that under the context menu, the edit hyperlink is available. You see this hyperlink is available. To remove this, this is how you do it. Again, select any cell, Ctrl A to select the whole table. Go clear. There's this thing called clear hyperlink. If you click on it, notice how looks like nothing really happened, but something did happen. If you go back again, click the cell, right click, there's no more hyperlink selection on your context menu. That indicates that the hyperlink has been removed, but the formatting is maintained. Let me undo this. Okay, if a hyperlink is there now. So to remove both the hyperlinks and the formatting, what you do is like this. Ctrl A to select the whole table, go to clear, and then you want to select remove hyperlink. And notice when I do that, you can see that the blue lines, which is the formatting, is gone along with the hyperlinks. The hyperlinks are gone as well. If you have to create multiple sheets for every person on my list here, I hope you're not going to do this, like plus and then create the first name and so on. This is time consuming, laborious, and sometimes can lead to error. And if your data set is as big as mine, I've got 1,000 people here, it can be a bit challenging to do that one at a time. Let me show you a more productive way to do it. First and foremost of all, you're going to select any name on your data set here, and then you're going to go to Insert, Pivot Table, and then in here you're going to click on Existing Worksheet. Under Location, you're going to select any cell in your spreadsheet. I'm going to select, say, B1 here, and click OK. Over here on the far right hand corner, you're going to drag My Friends, which is here, My Friends field, into Filter, and now you got yourself a pivot table. Next, you're going to select the newly created pivot table like that, and then you're going to go to Pivot Table Analysis, and if you look on the far top left hand corner of the screen, there's options under Pivot Table section here. You're going to click on Show Report Filter Page. Once you click on it, a pop-up window will appear like this. Make sure you're selected as My Friend if you have multiple fields. Next, you're going to click OK. As soon as you do that, what Excel does is that it starts creating all the sheet for everyone in your list. And you can see everyone on my list now have a sheet. On my YouTube channel, I regularly share Excel tips and tricks every day. Make sure you subscribe to stay updated.